guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tia, aka TeaCup Simmer, and this is a very new series that I decided to just do just for funsies, because I just started recording again after my long absence, and I just wanted to try something new. So this is a game that I absolutely love. I play a lot of it on my spare time. It is called RimWorld, and if you guys have never heard of this game, it is a colony simulator with very much survival and colony management and building, and it's like a weird micromanagement version of, like, the only thing I can describe it as, it's like, it reminds me of Don't Starve in the sense that you have to build things and you have to survive on your own, but it's more of like a what's it called, if you guys have ever heard of Prison Architect. It has that kind of look to it. But I really love this game. It's one of my favorite games, actually, and I wanted to see if you guys are really interested in it. I was going to try and see if we can make it some form of storytellery. There are lots of storytelling elements to this game. I also have that you can kind of make something a story when we always try and make stories on this channel. So if you guys are interested in this, if you guys like this series, please let me know down in the comments, because I am really tempted to do this as a long time thing, because it is a game that I really enjoy. So we're basically going to go through how the game works, how the different bits and pieces are put together, some of the mechanics. I'll show you guys how we build a colony, what type of characters we get to pick, and then we'll go from there and we'll be able to kind of start our story and see what things happen. Lots of things can happen in this game. I die a lot, and warning alert for individuals. I know we have a wide range of people who watch my channel, but this game does include like a lot of violence, a lot of I guess you'd say, like, not necessarily suggestive themes, but like there's different things like cannibalism, there are guns, there are drugs, there are like lots of different references to different things. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware. If you're kids, talk to your parents. If you're not kids, go ahead, I don't really care. But just wanted to make you guys aware, because I know we have a fairly family friendly type of channel, and I just want to make sure that everyone is upfront about what we're playing. So we're gonna start a new colony. I also have a lot of mods on this on my game, and I'll leave a link in the description box to a list of all the mods that I use. It's a fairly good list. If you go on Steam, you'll be able to pick up all of the things that I use from the workshop. They're all really amazing mods. So we're gonna go with the original one. It's called Crash Landed, which is basically the original start that you would use for RimWorld, and you start off with a certain number of items, certain number of people, and certain number of things that are on your map, and you just have to survive. So you have to make sure you have enough food, enough warmth or cool for wherever you end up staying. So we're gonna go with the basic Crash Landed. I'm not gonna do any changes to the editor or anything like that. We have a couple different storytellers, and this is really cool about the game. There are different storytellers. Cassandra Classic is normally when things get harder as you go on, as you build your colony. This is Phoebe, and she gives you really major disasters, and then she kind of lets you chill for a really long time. That one's a little bit easier to play with. And then there's Randy, who he kind of just throws crap at you, and it's really, really hard to stay on top of it. I know a lot of people who play on this setting. I usually play some challenge with Cassandra Classic on permadeath, just because some challenge is basically their neutral. Base builder is when we want to build like really amazing structures. Same with peaceful. You don't really get a lot of raids or crazy animals or anything like that. And we want to kind of have a little bit of, we want it to be interesting. And I don't play on any of these settings because I probably would die in the first 3 days. So we're gonna go with this one, and then you just kind of choose the size of your world. It will generate. I usually go with 50% because it's a little bit bigger, and then we just generate, and it'll come up with this amazing gigantic world that we're going to be staying on, with different factions and things that we're going to have to interact with. We might end up using like the new caravan feature. Since this is alpha 17, this game is currently in alpha, and you would not know it from how much stuff is in it. It's currently, I don't know how long it's been out, but it's in alpha. So yeah. So we have to choose a site. So normally I just click random until I decide where I like it. This one could be good since we're fairly close to a road. There are rivers, there are like lakes and oceans and islands and stuff. It's an amazing way that they start the game. And then there's this one. I don't really want to set up there. I kind of want to set up, I normally try and set up in a temperate forest or a tropical forest. You can do boreal forests if you want. Temperate forest. Let's see. Is this one good? This one's okay. I might actually like this one because we're right next to a mountain. 20 days of growing, which is not too bad, but it's still still fairly cold. But the mountain is good. There's large hills and we're right next to a road. Maybe we'll see if we can go someplace warmer. So we're just gonna go up the world. Ooh, this one might work. We're right next to, yep, year-round temperate forest, mountainous. Let's go with large hills. Large hills are usually the best that I think, not necessarily the best, but normally how I work better with. Mountainous means there's like absolutely very little area for growth. You have to basically build into the mountain. Large hills or small hills mean that you can just kind of take off of the mountains or at least off of the hills and you don't need to be burrowing into really large pieces of rock. So we're going to use this one. And then this is how you kind of choose characters. You normally, I just go through and randomize. This part with psyche and sexuality are parts that I added. These are mods. But I'm going to choose a couple characters and then I'll get right back to you guys. Okay guys, so we have chosen a couple characters. So we first have Codex, that is his short identifier name, Codex the AI spy. He was originally a decoder on Glitter World. He was very interested in the process of documenting information and quickly became a senior Glitterpedia recorder. He was effective at self-study, but he lacked in social experiences. So he is really bad at social, so he isn't really going to be a great person that's going to be negotiating for us, but he has a great shooting, great construction, and extremely intellectual. He also has not really any negative traits. Like, we don't really need him to do mining. We don't really need too many people to do mining, but he's a nudist, which means he doesn't really get upset about whether or not he has clothes on, which is great. And then he is a pluviophile, which means he likes the rain, which means he gets a mood boost from that, which is great. And so he has lots of great stats. You always want to have a good range of stats for people. So he has great construction, which is amazing. And so that we really want to have, because we're going to have to build a lot of structures. The next character we have is Lee, who was a medieval slave and a housemate. He cared for children and he grew up pulling carts and digging holes on a medieval world. Simple manual labor is his oldest companion, along with his master's lash, which is a problem. I feel really bad for him. So he used to be a slave, but then he started taking care of kids, and now he's going to be here on this world with us, and he is really good at melee, which we're going to need someone for that, because we always have one brawler, and he's good at medicine, so he's going to be our doctor, and he's also good at construction and working with animals, which we might end up having to recruit some wolves or anything like that, which I always like doing. I always like picking up like a pack of wolves and we end up training them, and you end up having like a group of animals, either it's like wolves or any type, that you can kind of sick on anyone that comes after you. And then we have our other final character, and I think we all have males. This is interesting. We all have males. And we have Trumpet, who is a dreamer and a space explorer. So he used to be an explorer. So Trumpet once spent 10 years trapped alone on an alien planet. He quickly adapted to the local environment and learned to communicate with his local enemies. His long period alone left him without close friends. His heart is sensitive, but he learned to hide his emotions very well. So he's good at social. He has a chemical interest, which means if we end up having anything like beer in our colony, he's going to probably have a very high likelihood of becoming addicted to anything that we end up allowing. But he is a gourmet, so he likes food, which means he's probably going to be okay at cooking. I think everybody else is okay at cooking, so we might just leave it to them. He is also a socialite, so he is amazing. So we're going to get him to kind of convert all of our prisoners and talk to everyone and do all of our negotiations for us. And I think that's everyone. So we're going to start the game and see what these boys do, since we have such interesting personalities. We have a spy, a leftover slave, and an explorer who are probably going to have some interesting adventures on our new island. Not an island, but our new colony. So let's get started. Hey guys, and we are back. And so the three of you awake in a crypto sleep, a sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown RimWorld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. Choose which government type your colony will have. So I normally go with a democracy, just because it means everyone gets to vote sometimes, and you can also change it to a dictatorship, depending on the proclivities of your colonists. The dictatorship might work for you, but I think this one, with all of the characters that we have, democracy seems to be the best bet. And there is everyone. So what type of creatures? Yes, we got a Labrador Retriever, and she's a female. She's so pretty. So this is everything that we're starting off with, you guys. So we have Codex, Lee, and Trumpet. So if you guys actually feel like changing their names, please let me know down in the comments, because I'm actually fine with changing their names. So we'll be able to be a little bit more acquainted with them. We're going to keep their regular names, like Codex's full name is Ang Gao, but we're just going to call him something different. So if you guys want to change their names, please let me know. But we're going to take a look at our area here. So, all right. So what we have is a couple different sections. So this is what a basically large hills looks like. Large sections of rock that we can kind of build into. And then we have this section. I feel like we can just start here. There aren't really any major areas of like really great fertile soil anywhere that I can see, except up in this area, but I don't like being really close to the map's edge. So we're probably going to start this area, because we want to be able, I always like having a mountain at least on one edge, or at least some type of rock on one side, because it's a really great defensive position. And we can always close off this area with walls, so we only have to worry about threats coming from this here, from here, and from here. And then we can always close this area off too. And then we have a steam geyser vent, which is good. So we'll be able to kind of plan our settlement around these different little bits and pieces, because there are lots of different bits and pieces to this. This is going to be a lot of a almost like a tutorial, not really a tutorial, but also a really not even a how-to, because I'm not that great at it, but I've played this game enough that I at least know some things. So right now I'm just going to kind of click away at everything that I can see and make sure that we can pick up all the food, because the first thing we want to have them do is pick up their weapons. So Codex, what did I have you have? So he has, so we're going to put him on, yeah, Codex is going to get that. No, that's Trumpet, dang it. Trumpet, you pick up the pistol, and then Lee is going to pick up the knife. So everybody has their weapons. And then we're going to have to set up some form of a dumping zone. I think here is fine, since everything seems to be consolidated in this area anyway. So we're going to just pick a stockpile, set this up right here, just about there. Probably expand it a little bit more. And then we're going to have them they're going to just pick up everything that they can see, and everything that needs to be hauled, so everything that's not forbidden in the area, they're just going to pick it all up and stick it right here, so that we'll be able to use it for materials later. And so what I need to do is change up their priorities at this point. So we want to make sure everyone does all the firefighting. So if there happens to be a fire of any kind, they're just going to take care of it. So the system works really simple. It's 1 through 4. So is priority. So things that are 1 are really high priority. Things that are 4 are fairly low priority. Ooh, we want to just deconstruct that. And so we want to make sure that everyone has certain things at high priority. So they have certain things that they always do. And then there are certain things that only a few people do or only one person does. It depends. And so we want everybody to be a patient first, except for Lee, since he's going to be our doctor. Everyone's going to go for house rest. And then we have hall +1, which is a modded area. That's going to mean like anything that I click on and where is it? Anything that I click on and click this is hall for urgency. Everyone will do it immediately, because the way the system works is things that are closer to here means they get done first, and then people will go from doing firefighting to doing doctoring to doing hauling. If there's no firefighting, they'll do doctor. If there's no doctoring, they'll do hauling, that type of thing. Since hauling is all the way up here, they're going to do it almost immediately. Same with flicking switches. And since Trumpet is our resident negotiator, we're going to say he does all of that stuff. We're going to have Lee set as negotiating 3, meaning if no one else is available, he'll do it. So if he's done all of his other jobs, then he'll do that. And then I think, is everyone done? Yeah, everyone's done. So we're going to go through and harvest all of the stuff in this area. And then we're going to chop down a lot of the wood, because we need materials. And so they'll just do all of that. And so they'll harvest all of the things in the area, like corn, hops, rice, everything that's just randomly growing. A lot of the medicine, since this is heel root, it works as medicine. And they're just going to do all of that. And I want to claim this. And then maybe we'll deconstruct this bit to see what's inside. There we go. And we'll just construct this area, so we'll have some place for them to sleep. It's not going to be comfortable, but it's definitely going to take them a while to be able to get all of this stuff in. So we just want to make sure they have some place to sleep. And so we're going to just finish putting these conditions together. We're going to have Lee work as handling. So he's going to be the one teaching all of our animals the fun things. So Mojave, I don't really know. I don't really like that name. Can we change it? I feel like we should be able to, but I think we can. I'll just have to figure it out. But if you guys want to change Mojave's name, we will. But we just click everything. So we'll make her learn obedience, release, rescue, and hauling. So she'll be able to pick up, she'll be able to haul things if we teach her enough. And then, let's see, we're going to leave Trumpet at 4 and that at 4, since we don't really want them doing it. Cooking, we're going to leave to Lee and Trumpet. We're going to have Trumpet and Codex do a lot of hunting, and then we're going to have everyone do construction, since it's a major importance. So we're going to put hunting at 2. No, we're going to put hunting at 1 for Trumpet, and then we're going to put hunting at 2 for Codex, since he has construction first. And then we're going to put growing at level 2. We normally don't want too many things that are level 1, but most of the time I really want these things to get done. This stuff, plant cutting, is something that I think needs to get done, but it doesn't have to be immediately. And then all of this other stuff, since everybody seems to be mediocre at it, we're just going to put it at 3s. And then hauling and cleaning, we're going to put at 2s, since they're fairly important. And then mining, we're going to put that at 4, put this at 3. So that Trumpet will be the first one to do it, but everyone else, if they don't have anything else to do, they'll do growing as well, which means we're going to have to set up a few growing plots, a few different things. But hopefully everybody will be able to get that done as quickly as possible. And then we also need to set up our setup for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for how they're going to be resting. Normally I do this in a kind of sectioned way. If you guys have watched Avik, he does RimWorld stuff. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description box. But he does this similarly, in the sense that everything is kind of staggered. So you try and make sure that you have people working most of the time, and so that they have at least a little bit of time to kind of relax, and then a little bit of time in between to do whatever it is they want to do. And then there and there. And so normally They'll have 2 spaces. So about 3 spaces before sleep. So there. And so everybody's kind of staggered. So they're going to work most of the day. Or they'll sleep into a good chunk of the day, and then they'll work mostly at night and into the middle of the day. So now we have a bunch of stuff in this area where everybody is like basically pulling everything together. And we need another area called a dumping zone. I think I'm going to put it right here. That's just going to have all of these type of things like chunks and slag and stuff like that is going to get put over there. And since they're going around and cutting everything, we'll be able to go through, click it, and tell them to haul it once they're all done. And once they're all done with it, we'll be able to have a ton of food and a ton of stuff to work with. So we don't have to worry about it too much for right now. I'm going to pick up that stuff, pick up that stuff. Yeah, we're going to pick up all of that food. So I'm going to let them all start pulling all this together, and once they're done cutting everything down, we're going to come back and I'm going to start setting up our colony. Okay, lovelies, so we are back and it looks like everybody's done cutting down all of these trees and all of that food. So right now we're just going to have to start getting everything set up. So the first thing that I always try and get set up is some form of a kitchen slash refrigerator. And because of the area of this thing, we're probably going to build off this. I'm trying to see how much steel we have. We have 600. So normally what I try and do for I have to remember I can keep this running. So normally what I try and do, seriously, local squirrel, jump to location. Where is that? Oh, it's up there. Trumpet, get the squirrel. Oh, how bad was that? Scratch. Is it gone? Yeah, it's done. You're fine. Trumpet, can you heal yourself? No, you can't. Trumpet, come over here. I'm trying to see which one is his. Trumpet, it's here. Let's just have him come over here, rest, and then Lee can come over and take care of him. But yeah, that tends to happen, unfortunately. Creatures can kind of go mad for a second, and you just gotta make sure that you're prepared for it. So we're just gonna have Lee take care of him for a second, just probably patch up that scratch. And there it is, perfect. So he should just need to rest for a second. It shouldn't take that long. So we need to map out our thing here, which is going to be fairly easy to put together. So normally I go for something, let's go with something about this size. We want to leave a little bit of space. I usually like 1, 2, 3, about 3 tiles in between big spaces, because it looks like this is going to be a major pathway. So we're going to leave about 3 tiles, which leaves about this much space for our actual refrigerator, which isn't too bad. And so we're just probably going to build off of this structure. It means I'm going to have to get rid of that. So I'm going to put the 3 sleeping spots in here for right now, just so that we have area for it. And then we're going to get this to be deconstructed. Yeah, about that bit. And so then we're going to leave, yeah, we're going to leave that there, but we're probably going to use this section, and we're just going to use the steel to build this out. And so normally what happens is like you need some form of a refrigerator because your food will go bad really quickly. And Trumpet, are you okay? Yeah, he's fine now. That's good. I think I don't think his trips in that foreign planet that he was on actually prepared him for all of the crazy creatures he's gonna have to deal with here. So we're gonna make these walls out of steel because I don't want them to burn too easily. We're gonna pause that for a second, and then we're gonna make this setup. That's fine. That's fine. We don't really need that. We're gonna need to put this here, so we can leave. Cancel that one and cancel that one. And then what we want is for it to be really easy for them to get from point A to point B. So we want to put that here, and then it depends on where we want our kitchen to be. And I think I want the kitchen to be about here on this side. And normally I make it super easy for them to get to the kitchen, so that if we'll make the kitchen on this side, we'll probably make it an extension on this side. And then the only other bit that we need to put in is a cooler. And I already set up the where we want our power to come from, so we'll probably take the restrictions off of these and off of these, which means we're probably gonna have to go mining for some steel at some point, because we're probably gonna use a lot of our steel on this project, which normally isn't the best thing in the world, to be honest. But how much do we have? We have about 600, so it's okay. And I think they're pretty much done getting all of that situated. And we have visitors. This is why the people are sleeping. So there's Lynn, there's Solek, and who's underneath you? Lilith. And these are all people from a different colony, and normally they will come through, say hi. People will be introduced to them. Sometimes we can convince them to join us. Since we don't really have any good accommodations for them, like we don't have places for them to sleep or any of that, they're probably not going to be too happy about staying. But hopefully, once we get a little bit more built up, we'll be able to show them that we're actually fairly hospitable. It's not too bad to hang out with us. And I really want, everybody is fairly okay, but I really want them to build this up. And so who's the best builder? Codex. But he just went to sleep and he's kind of stressed out. Why are you stressed out? Constraining clothes. Then take your clothes off. I don't really care. Eat without a table. I can't really do anything after that. Slept outside, slept on the ground. Ugly environment. Yeah, that sounds like life kind of sucks right now for you. Sorry. But let's have him work on that. And then let's see, let's have Lee work on the turbine on like that side. So we need both of those to be worked on. And I don't think, here we go, we have some steel right here. Yeah, see, they were awfully disappointed and they won't come back anytime soon. So who was wounded? By who? I didn't do it. Ooh, they left stuff. Thank you. So we'll just urgently haul this stuff. But it looks like apparently when people get hurt while they're with you, that's not really the best thing ever. You want to make sure that they don't die or anything like that, or the people around them might not like you. And so we're going to take off the allowing here. So we're going to change this to heal root, because we're going to need to heal ourselves. Strawberries, because they're actually fairly well and people will eat them on their own and they don't really need to be cooked. And then potatoes, I'm gonna leave that as potatoes. And so now we have some wind turbines, and once we get rid of this one right there, they'll be able to work pretty much uninhibited. And they actually work really well for when it comes to like power, and we want to make sure we have enough power going through here. And I hope, let me see, do I need to make a connection? Yep. I'll just have to make that connection. And then, are we going to have enough steel? I think so. But we're going to need to get rid of all of this. Hopefully once we start like breaking down these walls, it'll work a little bit better. We're going to need to build a wall there and a wall there. And then we're going to need to put a cooler in here, but I'm trying to figure out where we're going to put it. Codex, you are on fire, my man. I do apologize that you have to sleep outside, though. Like, I really can't do anything about that, because we really need to get this done, because then we'll be able to start freezing all of this stuff that we're pulling together, like all of the food that we just pulled out that we have just sitting around here. And seriously, we have like a bunch of squirrels and turkeys that we can hunt, and once we get all of those things figured out, let's haul these because I don't really want them there. Once we get all of these things figured out, we'll be able to like put a little floor in here and then start freezing all of our food so we don't have to worry about anyone going hungry for a while. And then normally once you get the food in, once you finally get the freezer is always my main goal, because we can kind of stick people anywhere, but making sure we have enough food and we have frozen food or food that won't spoil is always the best go-to. And since we have so much wood, I'm actually not too perturbed. Okay, where did I go? Let's see, 10 units, 10 units. That's what I wanted to avoid. Let me see. Yep. So we're gonna wake everyone up. Seriously, why? And they're gonna come over and take care of that. Why did it blow up? Oh, that's so frustrating. So guys, come on, fix it. Codex, come fix it. Fix it. Work on the power conduit. There we go. And then let's see. They're moving all those rocks. And let's see. We're gonna put that about here. And this is going to be our kitchen. And I know it's fairly big, but I usually try and put the dining room and the kitchen in one area so that it's fairly easy to get the food. And I have a bunch of different mods on here that, I mean, we can have refrigerators and different things like that. So it should be fairly simple to get everything to work right. And we're not out of steel. Why isn't it working? Okay, so we're just going to have them finish everything up. No, I didn't make that steel. I wanted that to be wood. Oh, that's so frustrating. Cancel all of that. We're going to put that there. I wanted that to be wood. Let's do structure wood. There we go. $10 by 10. Wait, no, I didn't do that. This is okay. So this is what happens when Tia gets confused. And deconstruct that, and don't construct that. So Tia wanted 10 by 10 by 10. There we go. Now we can, and there's a raid. Visitor provide a colony from, they're afraid to enter here for the following reason. Pirates. Don't come this way. There are pirates. There we go. So we'll be able to set this up. There we go. Now we have our kitchen. Now where is the pirate? Here it is. And normally we have raids. Melor, why? Codex. Come here. Or, yeah, stay right there. Lee, come out this way. And he'll be able to protect. There we go. And then we have Mojave. Yay! And is he wearing anything good? Nope, he is completely naked. Alright, cool. So, normally, we kind of keep them social, and he's not even good at firefighting, but he's good at growing. Ooh, but he's a prostophobe. I don't know if I want him. So we can sometimes capture people and stick them in places. Is he gonna be, we can try it. Let's do sleeping spot about there. And Lee, capture him. No, sorry, my bad. We have to turn it into a prisoner spot. And then capture Melor. He's a worker, so he seems to have an interesting background. But we'll see if we can turn him to our cause. Not even necessarily a cause, more like a weird. Yep. Then he's gonna take care of him. Let's see. He has a cataract. So we might just keep him as like a gardener, or maybe like for cooking, maybe. And that's normally what happens. You can pick up people and you can save them, and sometimes you can convert them. Let's see, as a prisoner, he's 65%. So we'll be able to kind of chat and recruit him. And there we go. So now we have a setup for a freezer, and then we have a setup for a kitchen. And we'll just put, we'll put it about there. And we'll deconstruct that. And we'll put, and he can't really stand right now. So normally you have to keep people who are, nope. And he's gone. He's escaping. I don't really feel like trying to keep him. Bye. As long as you don't burn anything on your way out, I don't really care. Alright, so I think that's where we're going to end this part right now, you guys. It looks like Codex, Trumpet, and Lee are having a couple of issues with things randomly showing up to kind of get in the way of their fun when it comes to trying to set up their colony. But we have the start of our freezer and our kitchen. Melor, I think, did he hobble away? Where did he hobble to? Is he gone? I think he hobbled away. All right, cool. Or did he pass out? That would be funny. Nope, he didn't pass out, I don't think. But sometimes that happens. People pass out. But I think that's where we're going to end this part right here, you guys. If you enjoy this series, please let me know. I'm kind of excited. I love playing this game. So maybe we'll be able to start some new interesting series this way. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and please subscribe if you really love me. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!